Alright everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and here is your second dose of the salty batch files for the week. So we got some good stuff here, a little bit of mix of some video examples this time around as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. Alright, so like I was saying, we got some great examples here. We got to start with the first one. It's been maybe a few episodes, a few posts before we've gotten something back to risk it for that biscuit, the Australian porky pig, you name it here. But he states, just buy an Xbox, hashtag Xbox, and we actually have games with a winky emoji here. What is he talking about? He's talking about Valorant. That's right, folks, the multi-plat game that is not only available on PC and Xbox, but also PlayStation for absolutely free. He doesn't specify what maybe he means on this, so I'm assuming that he means that for the operators, the agents, whatever you call them in Valorant. I'm not super familiar with it. I have played it, just not my cup of tea. But you do get those characters for free, where you normally would have to pay for them to access them early. You can earn them as well for absolutely free on the PlayStation or anywhere else for that example. You don't have to be subscribed to Game Pass in order to unlock these folks. You just have to play through it and so on and so forth. But how down bad do you have to be in order to mention Valorant as a selling point for not only Xbox, but you know what? For Game Pass. He doesn't even mention Game Pass, but he just says Xbox. How down bad do you have to be in order to bring up a free-to-play game that is multi-plat is an excuse for you to come on over to the Xbox ecosystem, folks, because you can play Valorant there. Holy moly, these guys have lost their minds here. But I'll tell you what, here's another crazy one. We haven't seen him in a little while here. Kareem, the biggest shield, Kareem. We got a curveball here, folks. Take a look here. I am leaving the consoles behind. I see where the industry is shifting. Xbox tells me no consoles required. Publishers are starting to release physical editions for PC. I haven't actually seen that. Let me know down in the comments below how that looks. I haven't seen anything to that, but I could be wrong. PC has way more games when compared to Xbox. No duh, it's an open platform. This is not new, but okay. PC has more support and ease of use than it ever had in the past. Depends. I mean, that's debatable, depending on the setup. I mean, it's just, that's such a broad statement. You can get, pre-built stuff. You all know this, but you can get pre-built stuff and have things pretty much set up, ready to go for the most part. But you are going to have some knowledge in drivers and so on and so on and so on. Even with the Steam Deck, you're going to have some knowledge and stuff like that. But anyways, let's continue here. PlayStation is making a PC launcher. Okay. Developers are making it a priority to be verified on Steam for Steam Deck, PC handhelds. The writing is on the wall. I love Xbox and enjoy the occasional PlayStation and Nintendo experience, but as an adult, I find it more valuable to be able to have all my games in one place where I can still play the games and not have them locked to a previous gen console. Well, if you can't beat them, join them, essentially, is what Kareem is doing here. When all said and done, and he puts on a lot more here. This would make it a 30-minute video if I went over the entire thread that he's gone over here. But he's like, I can't keep shilling for Xbox alone at this pace. What can I do? I know. Let me go over to PC where I can still appease those Xbox fans, much like what Fratanga does, Cucktanga. Oh no, it's Alex, stuff like that. They can grift and still encompass those that do view the channels and not lose that player base, right? They won't lose that player base. So that's the most obvious shift at this point in time. Kind of smart on his deal in regards to grifting. We know he's a well-known grifter. Kareem is here, as well as many others. But it's funny. It's funny to see this curveball finally happen, because there's just a point where he's like, I can't keep sticking up for this, and you're going to start to see a lot of content creators do this. Colt already has hinted at that. Colt Eastwood, right? shifting over. I play most of my games on PC anyway, bull crap, which is bull. He plays mostly on his Xbox. But they're trying to do that shift. They know, what else are they going to do? They have to embrace that. That's the only direction they have when their hardware is going to cease to exist in the future. Their games are going to go to other platforms. So the only bragging point they have is to encompass Game Pass and have PC and the higher specs and the frames and everything else. That's the most logical way that's going to happen for these shills, right? It's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds, but expect to see more and more content creators doing this there. Let's move on, though, to the legal, of course. Now, as I mentioned in my last video, is this a new thing here? But take a look. A liquidation for PS5 due to stock not being able to move off the shelf fast enough, collecting dust. Again, another fake post that's trying to scam people. Okay, first of all, be very careful because this is scam stuff. Liquidation's underway for PS5 under warranty, blah, blah, blah. Dear customers, we'd like to share some interesting news with you due to the expiration of warranty and yada, yada. This is not true. You cannot find this. You cannot score a PlayStation 5 for this cheap. There is no liquidation. There is no expired warranties. There's no this, that, and the other. This is very, very scam. And it is a scam, essentially. So do not do this. But this is just a new thing they're trying to push now that PlayStations aren't selling. The NPDs are coming out every month, folks. The PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch is still selling exceptionally well. You know what's not selling exceptionally well is the Xbox Series S and X's. They are not selling well at all. So now they're doing this weird narrative here where not only are they doing this, but they're trying to also harm potential consumers into thinking they can score an amazing console, whether this be an Xbox or PlayStation or Nintendo Switch. Replace the PlayStation with something else. This is still a scam and not correct and poor attempt at trolling because there's a lot of casuals out there that still don't know or understand what's going on with this stuff, so they think this is true. That's very in poor taste in my opinion, trolling or not, or if they think this is real. This is really bad, guys. This is really bad and pathetic. And again, Xbox fanboys are down bad. Super bad. Let's swing right back real quick to Kareem. I just wanted a quick break in between there. So in regards to, he did have an update here in regards to that whole curveball situation and moving to PC. Alex did actually call him out a little bit here. So kudos to Alex. I will give you kudos when you deserve it, so I appreciate that. You'll last 2 weeks and go right back to console, Alex says at the bottom here. Might as well not even spend the money, but if you do, put something in my pocket. And he gives him a link, and I didn't click on the link. I don't know if it's like a Cash App or Venmo or something or whatever his support page is. But he, of course, as you see here, Kareem responds, "Since you're wrong, you should gift me a game on Steam from my wish list. Been way more than 2 weeks on PC to make my announcement yesterday, so I'm sure Steam Deck changed the game for me. I ain't investing a ton of hard-earned cash on PC just to go back to consoles." Yeah, you would, dude. Depending where the grifting's at, if your views, if your narrative, if your direction is not working out for you because you are a grifter, much like these others as well, you're going to go back to consoles for sure. That I do agree with Alex. So he's kind of preemptively thinking that'll happen because a lot of folks don't understand, and we're going to get to this in a second, that PC is just a completely different beast, a different animal. It's a lifestyle, if you will. I have played on PC. I mained PC for a few years. It is a different lifestyle. You have to be okay with certain things. It does take effort in order to get those frames and everything working appropriately to your liking and whatever the case is. You have to be willing to troubleshoot. You have to be willing to put in the knowledge, your research, and put in the effort in order to be on that pedestal of getting everything you can out of a certain game in regards to specs and the power and everything else, right? So it's interesting. We're going to see what happens. Maybe he will spin back around. We'll have to see. That being said, let's shift over real quick. I want to go over to same topic here in regards to PC. Now, this is Doc Darkness. I like Doc Dark here. He He's a good guy. He actually has a really good sense of humor. I have nothing against the guy. Is he a bit of a shill? Is he a bit of overboard of a fanboy for Xbox as a whole? Absolutely. But still a good-natured dude. And one of the Xbox folks that I honestly truly enjoy. Some of the stuff is irritating, of course, because he just doubles down, but still just a good-natured human being as a whole. So shout out in that aspect. But here, take a look at his video here. He tried to go PC, and let's see what happens here.
If I went ahead, because somebody gifted me Death Stranding, I already have Days Gone. I already have Horizon Zero Dawn. I said, what if I went ahead and I bought all 20 games that are on Steam on the PlayStation? So what if I went ahead and bought them all? What would that mean? That would mean that my PC would also be a better PlayStation. Hands down, it would be a better PlayStation. PC dies again in the middle of gameplay. It wasn't the temperature, because I had my overlay on. My GPU was at 70, it wouldn't go above 75 temperature Celsius, which is perfectly fine. CPU wouldn't go above 63. Again, if you're a console gamer, you're looking at me like, yo, that's way too much stuff for me to pay attention to. I'm just gaming. I agree, but when you're gaming on PC, the experience is just better. But I want to game at the end of the day. Once I saw, because I looked this up, I saw that certain YouTube videos out there, when they talked about how to take care of this problem that I was having, were all troubleshooting tutorials. And by troubleshooting, what I mean is, they don't know what could possibly be wrong. PCs could just turn off while you're gaming, and it could be a numerous amount of things. I'm not down for that. When it could be a numerous amount of hardware, it could be my power supply, or it could be my motherboard, or it could be whatever. I'm not down for that. I'm just not. So the PC is gone.
All right. So as you can see, when I'm talking about a whole different beast, a whole nother animal, this is kind of what happens. I mean, you're looking for troubleshooting. You're going to have to do research. You're going to have possibly some friends or your inner circle that might be some PC tech folks that might know a little bit more than you do to kind of go hands-on. Otherwise, you're taking that thing in the shop, or you're just going to have to really fiddle with things if you just maybe get a lemon for parts or the whole pre-built or whatever the case. It doesn't matter if you buy it from Walmart or you buy from whatever. Cyberpower, Alienware, doesn't matter, right? Omen is an Omen. But it's you're gonna have to understand, it's not gonna be as simple as a plug and play. You're gonna have to put in that effort to get what you want out of it. It's not just like, well, every game's here and it's just so easy just to fire up. No, that's not what's happening here. It takes effort. Plain and simple, folks. And if you're not ready for that, if you're ready to give up that plug and play method, the ease of what a console does bring to you, and the fact that a console does go strong for 8 years plus, if you wanted to, without having to upgrade, you have options. But I don't know if those options will be for everybody, right? So there's a lot to it there, but it's so fun to see what kind of happens there. It honestly is. And then one more, we're going to shift away from that PC talk for a second. We're going to go right back to Xbox here. We're talking about a quick video here. I want you to take a look in regards to yet another game skipping Xbox. There you go.
Literally 2 hours ago during Evo, out of nowhere, they announced SNK versus Capcom Chaos, which was on the original Xbox. Once again, not coming to Xbox. This re-release remake of SNK versus Capcom Chaos. Now, this ain't MT Framework, so why isn't this one coming to Xbox? Something that someone mentioned in the chat that I think we spoke about last time this happened with Marvel vs. Capcom was the other part that sort of rubs a bit of salt in the wound is the fact that here's Microsoft putting their fucking games everywhere, and then yet nothing comes back the other way.
Who are people mad at here? What are we mad at?
I don't know. I don't know who I'm mad at.
I don't understand. Like,
I don't know who I'm mad at. But we're mad. We're mad at. Again, I don't know. Like, we're mad at the idea that these fucking games that wouldn't cost that much to make aren't coming to Xbox. Like, the fighting game scene during the 360 era, that was where the fighting game scene was, and now we've gone the other way and worse. Like,
All right, so they clearly are not happy with it. They don't know what to think half the time. They're just baffled, right? Baffled that these games are skipping. It's one after the other. The biggest one, still in my opinion, that is missing skipping Xbox, and I understand it is due to some engine stuff as well. But Marvel vs. Capcom Collection, where you have all of them, you have Punisher, Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2, you're going to have X-Men Children of the Atom, and on, right? As well as like artwork and all this stuff that comes with that whole package, digital artwork, yada yada. It's a big deal, and it affects you as somebody it's not just some like throwaway game, right? This isn't Paw Patrol the Third, or Peppa Pig goes on another grand adventure. This isn't that type of game that's skipping the platform. These are respected fighting games skipping the platform. There's games being delayed like Wukong Black Myth, or Black Myth with Wukong, whatever comes before the other. But big games are either being delayed or they're just skipping entirely. And you got folks all up in their feels and they don't know how to feel about it, upset. Maybe they don't know how they feel about it sometimes, you know, it just depends. But you can see that it's just in a state of disarray. It's just like Xbox, rip off the Band-Aid, admit that your stuff is going to be leaning towards multiplat, that you're leaning mostly into Game Pass, and that's the direction you're going. Be honest with your fan base, because you're getting everybody and the shills and everybody else in between mixed signals. They're confused about the models. They're confused about the direction of the games. Why is certain games available here and not there? Especially when it's third party. It's not first party. It's not anything like that. But you are getting first party games from Xbox heading to other platforms. I mean, the messaging is certainly confusing. And it is affecting your fan base, even the hardcore shills as you see here. So that being said, we'll wrap up the video for now, give you your time back, of course. A lot of good examples, a lot of fun stuff here, and a couple curveballs, like I said. But that being said, thank you all for your support. We're getting ever so close to that 2,000 subscriber goal, so everything you do helps me out so much. So thank you, thank you, thank you. That being said, of course, if you haven't already, definitely leave a like, comment down below. That does help out the algorithm. If you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing to a small content creator like myself. And of course, that being said, just remember, don't be a salty batch. And we'll see y'all next time on the next Xvault Gaming video. And until then, take care.